Okay, so this video we're shooting because I wanted Bethany and Amber, my daughters. This is Bethany and that's Amber. Bethany is our eldest, and then this is our middle child, and obviously we have Bella. But what I wanted to talk about is just their health journeys, and I think it's important as parents when you think about your children. We always talk about your health and what's good for you, and when you're in your 40s and your 50s, that's fine, late 30s, etc. But when your kids kind of grow up and more and more of us are concerned about them. I think devices, being attached to devices, their lifestyles, who they are, etc. I thought, let me just talk to Bethany and Amber as their dad and give you an idea of what they've gone through from a wellness, wholeness perspective, because they live in a home with Lisa Riley, and they see how she lives, and I think she lives healthy. She lives the way she preaches. She really, really does. And that's had a huge impact on the three of us. I mean, obviously Bella's not here right now, but Bella too. But Bethany is now 23. Amber is 20. Sorry if I'm mentioning your ages. They're like, oh, you mentioned our ages. But I think these, as parents out there, I want you to just listen to some of the things that they say. And we haven't really rehearsed this. We're just doing it. And I thought, let's just talk about what does health and wellness mean. So Bethany, I know that you rebound like a lot. In fact, sometimes I worry that you rebound too much. So just your perspective on rebounding and people in your age group and how you think of health and fitness, and yeah, just give me your perspective.
Well, I mean, in high school, it was like I hated fitness, I hated sports, I hated all of that stuff. Just because I don't have a competitive personality whatsoever. Like it's not my scene. I don't
She's
care.
underplaying this. But I used to write sick notes when she wasn't sick, and to
Yeah.
any sports thing.
I really
Bethany
hated it.
hated anything. Bethany hated going on a hike.
Yeah.
Like a little hike on our farm in the Midlands, she'd cry. She'd burst out crying.
That's because you told me cows were chasing me. Different story. Anyway. Yeah, I just hated it, like from a competitive perspective, because that's just not my personality. But I think obviously Lisa gifted me a rebounder, a spring rebounder, and it sat in my room for like a really long time. And I just looked at it every day and I was like, oh, not today. But then I finally started doing it just because it gave me an option where I could, train at home on my own schedule, on my own terms, with my own music, in privacy. I think that was also
But weren't you
a
studying
big
that time
factor.
too?
Yeah, and I was doing my prelims at the time. I'm a trick prelims, so I was like really, really stressed, and I needed like an outlet for it. And that gave me an option it was super quick and easy. I didn't have to ask my mom to drive me anywhere. I didn't have to leave the house. It was just like in my room. I can do it whenever I feel like it. And that really kept me going, and it improved my skin, my sleep, my mood. And it really helped me through my exams. And then I think from there, I just carried on doing it, and it became like just an everyday thing for me. And yeah, now I do rebound like 5 to 6 times a week. And I really, really do enjoy it because I still look at it as like a form of movement and like a form of self-care that doesn't involve competitiveness or,
Or going to a gym
yeah, like
or
super intense vibes where like everyone's looking at you and you're looking at everyone. It's something you can do for yourself, by yourself. And it's like my favorite thing.
yeah, I know. I'd reckon your fitness levels right now matches Lisa's on a rebounder. No, I do. I think so.
Oh,
I
she
think
told us
both of
already.
you
Okay.
actually. I think you're both kind of there now.
No ways.
Not Lisa.
I only use the 3 kg weighted bar. Lisa uses the 5. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, from a strength perspective, but I watch you guys in the class now. I mean, you're rebounding you would flow. I think you should start giving flow classes. Yeah. Okay, Amber, so your perspective. Let's give your perspective. Because I know you were at school, you were competitive. You
Yeah.
were doing gymnastics. You want to take the
Yeah,
mic?
okay.
You were doing gymnastics. You were good at school. You were a sprinter. You were all of that stuff that a kid does at school.
So yeah, as the middle child, naturally my instinct was to overachieve. But yeah, I'm the polar opposite of Beth. So yeah, in high school I was super competitive. I was always doing extra subjects, like tons of sports, tons of culturals, all of that. And I really enjoyed my netball and my athletics and the community and the social aspect of sports. But for me, the big thing that I struggled with in high school, and even to this day because of you, is my stress. Because I always have this innate urge to overachieve, I often find myself in times where I either overwork myself or I'll overcommit to too many things, and I'm always working. And for me, I've always struggled with having an outlet for my stress. And all throughout high school, I guess the sports side of things was a good outlet, but I had a lot of other really bad ones. So like I consumed, firstly, I wasn't sleeping well all throughout high school, so I was always exhausted. I didn't like coffee in high school, so the way that I kept myself awake, because I wasn't sleeping, all of that, was I just loaded myself with tons of sugar. Every break, it was a brownie and a Coke for lunch, first break and second break, and I just pumped myself full of all the bad stuff to keep myself awake. And then when it came down to the weekend, I didn't actually do anything to kind of take care of myself or implement any kind of type of movement on the weekend. Instead, I would go out and I'd jawl. And obviously, there's drinking and there's all the stuff associated with the clubs and things like that.
Just to clear, Joel is what?
Jawling is like the club.
Yeah.
It's like partying.
It's partying,
Sorry.
yeah. Joel, just enough. Sorry, Afrikaans community, because Joel means lots of things in that community.
Sorry, it's slang. But yeah, I'd go out on the weekends to the clubs and I'd drink a lot, and that's kind of the lifestyle that I was living. And then it started to not serve me. So I started to experience a lot of really bad physical symptoms, like the joint pain, my hair loss, all of that's been explained before. And I kind of just realized I needed to make a change.
Right.
And I actually wasn't too into the rebounding thing because I enjoyed the social side of sports so much. But then the pandemic happened and everyone moved to doing school online and all the extracurriculars fell away. And then I found myself having no form of movement and like nothing to really do in a day besides my schoolwork. And that's when I kind of decided to join Beth and Lise doing the free live classes when we first started them in lockdown.
Yeah.
That was the first time I got into a Rebounders. I joined them in that. And it became, like, in a way, another social thing for me because I got to bond more with Lise and with Scribe through the movement and the exercises we were doing with the Rebounders. And then after the pandemic, Beth dragged me to one of Jono's classes, very reluctantly, because I still wasn't in it wholeheartedly. And then Jono is just Jono, he's amazing. And his class completely just won me over. I love the music, I love the vibe, I love the studio and the community we have here at the studio and the Bouncy family. It's still got that social aspect that I wanted. And it was just so incredible to see others and their transformations and their journeys and connect in that way. And then, the bug bit, and I was in it.
Okay, talk to me about from a stress, an outlet perspective. So, I mean, it is your go-to now, right?
Yes, yeah. If I don't rebound, I want to chop heads off. I'm very irritable. I'm a nightmare to be around. And I'm like, I can't manage my stress. I can't. I find myself overwhelmed. If I don't rebound as much, I don't sleep as well. If I don't sleep as well, I'm also irritable. So for me, it's like a non-negotiable. And something that Lisa actually got me to start doing even more now is lymphasizing throughout the day. Because
Right.
it's easy for me to be stressed the whole day and then come 5 p.m. do the evening class at the studio, but then I'm still irritable, moody, and I still have all that weight on my shoulders throughout like the whole day. So by lymphasizing, getting up, just running into the studio, putting a rebounder down, and then just bouncing for like 5 minutes just to clear my head after a meeting, or when I've been sitting down at my laptop doing something really intense for a long period of time, just exercising throughout the day helps me to be happier, help me to cope with the stress, and not be such like a nightmare and such a cloud to be around.
Cool. That's amazing. Do you want to say anything more there, Bethany? Anything more to say?
No, not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to close it off because I think what you've said is enough. I mean, we can go on and on and on about it, but I think for the parents out there, this is proof that it works, that the practicality of rebounding, whether you want the social aspects of it, you can come to the studio, you can go on the free live classes, put it in your kids' room, and they may not use it initially, but after a while, like we did it with Bethany. I'll never forget Alisa just left it there in her room and kept on leaving it there. And from someone that had absolutely no interest in physical exercise to what she is today, which is ultra fit. And it's not just about the way they look and the way they feel, but it's such a pleasure to see your kids dealing with stress in a healthy way, through doing physical exercise, etc. So if you're a parent out there, key thing is the way Bethany got into it was kind of the drug mule way, right? So give her the drug and then she'll take it. So we put it in a room. How Amber got into it was socially. So just doing it together as a family. Get an extra rebounder, do it together, do workouts together. And I think that it kind of binds you in a weird way. And it's a really cool way to do it together. We rebound a lot together. I get pulled into classes a lot. At home, we'll rebound together on the rebounders, etc. So I want to encourage every single one of you out there as parents. And we've got lots of programs. We've got Bounty Kids. So the 0 to 3-year-old is Bounty Kids. There's Bounty Bop. That's kind of from that, 3-4-year-olds all the way up until 10, 11. And we got Bounty Body. that takes you from like that 12-year-olds all the way up to 18. So there's programs for different age groups. There's for the kids, and just it's a really cool thing to do. So get a rebounder. The live classes are free, and do them together as a family. It's wholesome. It's amazing, and it's such an amazing outlet. And I think you, from a lymphosizing perspective, I think that's huge. It's not just about exercise. It's also that lymphosizing stuff because, you know, lymph importance to the elderly is just as important to this age group, and that's from stress management all the way through health. So skin's a big one for kids, right? I know as soon as they stop rebounding for a while, the first thing that they complain about is stress, and the second one is their skin. And I think there's such a deep correlation between the health of your lymphatic system and just your overall well-being, mental health, and also your skin.
And you know what's actually incredible is with the lymphosizing that I do throughout the course of the day, I've actually noticed when I sit at my laptop and I stare at it for too long, I get like a really, really bad headache. Just 5 minutes of bouncing, my headache goes away. Yeah. And even like after a weekend where maybe I didn't stick to my healthy habits so much, or I ate rubbish, or whatever the case may be, and whenever I'm feeling a bit yuck, as soon as I get on a rebounder and I just move a little bit and bounce for a few minutes, I feel like a million times better when I climb off it. I've never ever regretted getting on my rebounder, like ever.
So there you go. To parents, this is a message to you. Get your kids bouncing. And if you're not bouncing and you're on the couch and you want to make a change, this is an amazing way to do it together with them, because it's fun. I mean, jumping on a rebounder, and there's no kid that's going to go, I don't want to do that. It's fun. I mean, that's the key thing about it. So hopefully this helps a little bit and encourages you to get out there and move.